So you're trying to get good at your game of choice. You play for hours every day, you watch the pros and try to emulate them, and you're constantly pushing yourself to improve. But you still feel stuck, and this is frustrating. Despite tons of effort to get better, you're really not making any progress, or so it seems. But is this a sign that you've reached your maximum ability, that your genetics are somehow holding you back? Or does this just mean that you need a little extra help to push through to the next level of skill? So have you reached your peak performance in your game of choice? Well, if not, you might be considering coaching. In fact, a coach might be exactly what you need to start making progress again. In fact, almost all top teams in esports have coaches. Even the world's best players are basically being told what to do and how to improve. But the real question is, if these players are already good enough to be pros, why do they need a coach? Well, one reason is that a coach can speak from a perspective without bias. Anyone who has ever played a team game knows how quickly most teams will devolve into a blame game after a loss. The coach can look past this and identify where the actual weak points are without judgment. Then they can help the players to translate this into strategies or drills to improve. So then, isn't coaching just for the professionals then? Well, while most esports coaching occurs at the higher levels of play, it doesn't mean it's not useful for lower skilled players. According to Peak, a book on how high performers are created, anyone looking to reach the highest performance levels in any field will need coaching. And this is due to the constantly growing hurdle that is the top tier of competition. The constant innovation by teams of professionals makes it very difficult for new talent to emerge independently. In other words, without a coach, you're fighting an uphill battle against those who are constantly developing advanced strategies and methods for improvement. But, of course, coaching is not a substitute for flat-out experience. To get good at any game, you need to invest a lot of time into actually grinding. But what a coach is ideal for is breaking limits when that grind is giving you diminishing returns. Think of it like giving you a limit break or a power-up. It puts you at a stage of improvements beyond your current level. The coach's job is basically to break down where you need to improve from a neutral standpoint and then help you pull it off. The coach is essential because they can give you proper actionable advice, and if this advice is used to build a consistent schedule, improvements is basically guaranteed. And this is even more valuable for players as their skill level increases. As you gain more experience, improvements will become harder and harder. For example, a new player might benefit from very straightforward advice on how to improve their general aiming skills, since they're still working on the game's fundamentals. But a highly skilled esports athlete does not get much from this advice, and they need more specialized routines to improve. For example, a coach can create advanced drills to target their core weaknesses, like speed training or micro-tracking. But what about self-improvement? Is a coach really necessary if you can just improve on your own? For example, everyone will automatically get at least a little bit better over time just with pure experience. You've probably noticed this. After hundreds or even thousands of hours in your game, your general game sense and mechanics naturally improve. And then of course, there's things like YouTube content, guides, and pro players to watch. Now, Tony Robbins is widely considered one of the greatest performance coaches in the world, and he talks about this. He mentions that there's a massive amount of value in having people to copy, because learning to copy someone with experience then saves you a vast amount of time, since you're not reinventing the wheel. And even the author Robert Greene mentions this and refers to public figures and knowledge like having a second-rate mentor. So whether you use guides or just watch the pros, there's a lot you can learn from copying others and from having these second-rate mentors. But you need to be careful. You need to be cautious of what's called the self-help trap or overlearning, where you basically just become obsessed with learning for the sake of gaining knowledge without actually applying that knowledge in game. On the surface, learning is quite easy and feels really rewarding, but turning that into game sense takes a lot of time and energy. But of course, if you want to get better, the second step that requires that time and energy is necessary. Now, unfortunately, with all kind of self-teaching, you eventually will reach a sort of plateau where your progress will slow down. You'll start to feel like all the videos on mastering mechanics and on matchup secrets are no longer as enlightening as they once were. At this point, you'll have the fundamentals down pat, and it'll become more about finding the following layers of knowledge and filling in subtle weaknesses. For you, this might require a further understanding of the macro game, higher level mechanics, or new team strategies. But the problem is that these advanced ideas are often quite hard to find, especially on popular YouTube channels that really just cater towards new players. And even when you do learn some of these ideas, they're usually really hard to apply and master. You'll really need guidance if you want to apply them correctly. Fortunately, a coach can help teach you advanced strategies directly, but then also help you do critical analysis on your gameplay to identify issues that you'd really never see in your own performance. And with enough of this kind of guidance, you'll slowly begin to build a new pattern of decision making and start to get a new cutting edge perspective on the game, helping you see all the moving parts of the macro game in ways you've never seen before. But beyond helping you improve your game sense, strategies, and mechanics, a coach can provide a few extra things that are often far more valuable: motivation and accountability. Now, motivation separates those who train for 2 to 3 hours a day and then quit to go watch Netflix versus those who train every moment they have available. It's also what separates those who just play the game passively for hours on end from those who actually take the time and effort to take notes, watch their own VODs, and actively learn. But of course, passion without accountability doesn't usually work. Most people fail in esports because they get lazy and lose the discipline to stick to effective routines. Coaching can solve both aspects, helping you solidify your passion and staying on track. Together with a coach, you can create a goal to aim for, a sort of vision of what success looks like and exactly how to achieve it. The coach can then help you remain consistent throughout that climb. If you begin to deviate from your improvement plan, the coach will be aware and begin to challenge you with deeper questions. Are you really putting in the time you said you would? Why or why not? Are you getting distracted? If so, why? Now, a higher level of discipline is how the best players are made, and coaches can help you build that through motivation and accountability. Now, what most players don't really know is that esports coaching is now more available than ever, with increasing number of gaming coaches becoming available through complete coaching programs like the ones on our websites, or for just one-off sessions on websites like Fiverr and Gamer Sensei and similar websites. The question is really no longer about how to get a coach, but when to get one. So, when exactly should you hire a coach? Well, here's how you should decide. The times to look for a coach are when you've hit a solid wall that you can't improve around, particularly if you're stuck in elo hell, or when you're looking to take it more seriously and expect to reach the highest levels of performance, or if there's a skill or some sort of knowledge that for some reason you really can't reach on your own. So ask yourself if it's time for you to get a coach. Do you feel stuck in elo hell? Are you serious about improvements? Are you lacking skills and knowledge that you think a coach can help with? If you are an average skilled player, a coach can help you master the fundamentals and build a better foundation of skill. And if you're already at a high rank, they can help you identify unnoticed weaknesses and bad habits that are holding you back from the next rank. The critical task of a coach is really to take you to that next level of skill, and they'll do it through accountability, proper strategy, and specialized advice. If you're going to climb, it's really on you to put in the work, but it's on the coach to guide that effort. Instead of watching YouTube videos in bed, they'll have you sharpening your skills with a proper schedule, the same as an athlete. So should you hire a coach? Well, it depends on how serious you are and whether you're bothered by your current rank. If you're stuck in elo hell or at a skill plateau, recognize that you might need some extra help. Nothing prevents players from reaching their potential more than a lone wolf mentality. So consider taking the next steps to seek guidance, improve your weaknesses, and push yourself towards a higher level of skill. So if you guys want to get started by hiring your own coach, you have a few options. Like I mentioned in the video, you can use websites like Fiverr, GamerSensei, and similar websites for these sort of one-off sessions. But if you want to dive deep into a complete coaching program, I recommend checking out the Esports Elite. The base level course is designed to teach you how to train like a pro so that you can get massive improvements in just a few months. It teaches you the science behind improving your game sense and mechanical skills as fast as possible, and goes far beyond anything you'll find on YouTube. And then if you want to take the course a step further, you can add on multi-week coaching, which includes direct coaching and guidance from multiple coaches around your in-game performance and performance psychology. If you're curious to learn more, I recommend at least checking it out and seeing some of the reviews from past students. The link for this will be in the description and in the pinned comment below. And of course, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and don't forget to also tell me what you thought about this video. I always love reading your comments and connecting directly with you guys. But as always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys keep on grinding, keep on improving, and I'll see you all in the next video.